Be sure to read your questions carefully when there's so much information. In this case, I'm going to help you read the question and highlight what's important. The Smith family and the Harper family are going to a book fair raising money for a charity. Mr. Smith pays entry fees of $11 for 3 adults and 1 child. Mrs. Harper pays entry fees of $12 for 2 adults and 3 children. We can determine the cost of an adult ticket and the cost of a child ticket by forming 2 linear equations and graphing them. Remember, linear equations are graphs that make straight lines. The dollar amount X, or let X be the entry fee for an adult ticket, and let Y be the entry fee for a child. Luckily, they've given you some equations here. The information about the Smith family can be modeled as 3x plus y equals 11. That came from that first sentence we highlighted, $11 for 3 adults, or 3 x's, and 1 child, 1 y. And the information about the Harper family can be modeled as 2x plus 3y equals 12. So 2 adults plus 3 children equals $12. For part A, it says draw the graphs of the equation 3x plus y equals 11 and 2x plus 3y equals 12 without using technology. So take each equation that you're given and write it in the form y equals mx plus b, or y equals then your x term by moving it over to the other side of the equation, and then your y-intercept. So this will give me my slope, or my rise over run, so I can draw by hand. This will be -3 over 1. Remember, that's a rise over run. So a rise of -3 means move down 3 units and over 1. And then 11 is my y-intercept. So I'm going to start with my y-intercept of 11, and then my rise over run, or my slope, is 1, 2, 3 units down and 1 unit to the right. 1, 2, 3 units down and 1 unit to the right. I'm just going to do this till I have enough to connect with a straight line. And then what you can do is grab your ruler put it down there and just line it up with your dots. Until you think you've got the slope about right. Pretty close. There we go. Just draw your line right there. And now let's come up with our other equation. 2x plus 3y equals 12. So again, isolate your y, move the 2x over, and then divide out the 3. Remember to divide every term by 3, so just make some room here. Y equals -2/3 x plus 4. So that 4 is your y-intercept, and then your slope is -2, 3. That's rise over run, so it goes down 2 over 1, 2, 3, down 2 over 1, 2, 3, down 2 and over 1, 2, 3. If you have different colored pens, you can use them here if you want. Otherwise, I'm just going to use my black pen, move my ruler over a little bit to help me. There we go, get this thing. That's pretty close. There we go. And draw your line. And then we can get rid of our calculator, or sorry, our ruler there. An important step here when you're graphing is to label your equation. So this one is y equals -2/3 x plus 4, whereas this first one had been y equals negative 3x plus 11. So I've drawn the two graphs without using technology. Now I'm just going to continue on and see what the next part of the question said. The graphs of the equations intersect at a point. State the coordinates of this point and explain what the coordinates represent in the context of the question. Well, in this case, whenever I graph equations or two equations, the point where they meet, and I'll just maybe put a circle there. Let's move that just so you can really see. There we go. The point where they meet is the point where the two equations are equal to each other. And in this case, that would be the solution, the x and the y coordinates. Since x was telling us the cost for adults and y was telling us the cost for children, this intersection point tells us the cost for children and adults. So in other words, the intersection point is our solution. And I can see where it is just by counting off the grid. My x value is 3 and my y value is 2. So 3, 2. In other words, x equals 3, y equals 2. That means the cost for adults is $3 and children cost 2. Squeeze that from the bottom there.